Now everything is submerged. Great. Well, hello there. Welcome once again to Silent Hill Alchemilla, where I now have a key. Yes, I took the key from the now stopped fan. The only question is I don't remember where to shove it. Where do I shove it? Other than up someone's, where. Obviously the elevator is still out of power, so not that. Probably not that. What about you? Locked. I need a key to open it. I'm guessing a different key then. Well, what do we have here? Of course. The way to get out of there. What about this? Lock is broken. I can't open this door. Locked from the other side. Lock is broken. Well, I mean, that has condemned police line tape over it. That might also contribute to the fact that I can't open it. Oh, right. That just takes me over there. It's kind of weird how that works. I wouldn't touch this even with gloves on. I mean, it probably wouldn't do you any good anyway. I wouldn't want to touch this crap either. It looks sick. Oh, okay. Yep, it's that again. This door doesn't have a handle. Well, you know what that means. I need to learn to get a handle on things. No? Fine. Spoil sport. I think my jokes are funny. But I suppose we just have different opinions on what funny is. Funny man. Oh, of course. I think maybe I need to change one of these back. I think this is the ticket. Or not, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Let's check out... Okay, it might be here. I think it's here. Well, obviously it's not that one because that one did not say that a key was inserted. You can tell because there's going to be a key inserted somewhere. Okay. Fair enough. These doors like to teleport you around. It can be very confusing, you know? Tell me why this is a land of confusion! Ho, 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 ho! What the? Are there so few doors around here? Okay, then. I guess this time, being on the other side actually has a benefit. Because I can't get over there naturally. Okay, now I'm on the other side of the key. Or where I found the key, anyway. Right. This takes me back, doesn't it? Lock is broken. Of course it is. Everything's broken around here. It's Silent Hill. Well, it's Silent Hill Nightmares. Not just Silent Hill. It's Silent Hill in a nightmare world. That makes things a million times worse. Fan-bloodtastic. Alright, I'm here again. Well, I'm not gonna find the answer here. I've already solved this. Presumably. I'm at a loss here. I can open doors from now into eternity, and it probably wouldn't get me an inch closer. Because these doors are confusing. They've always been bloody confusing. Right. Maybe I need to sabotage this one. Oh, wait. Maybe I need to... Oh. Right. Okay. I do need to close that one. Let's just close that one and see what happens. Oh. It resets into the first one. Never mind then. That's strange. Oh, right, this one. Or not, I don't know. I don't remember. I thought it was you open all of the ones except for that. Like, it said opposite, you know? Maybe that was it, and I don't remember. I don't remember anything. No, clearly not. Hang tight real quick. Ah, here we go. I had to go inside here, the one with the mirror. It said the key is hardly turning. It doesn't give in and I can't pull it out either. Wait, what? Now it's completely stuck. Damn, the key is broken. You broke the key? The key is broken in the lock. The door won't open now. Wait, I don't remember that circle being on the table there. Oh, of course. Of course. That makes a lot of sense. The candle is turning, but the door won't budge. I hope it's the right key. Now it was the right key. Wait, what? Locked from the other side. The handle is turning, but the door won't budge. Wait, maybe it's this one. Lock is broken, I can't open this door. Damn it, not the right one. The key fits. This is the right one. Oh, it must be another area entirely. Because it has to load. We must be on the right track. What's going on here? A car. Hey, buddy, what's going on here, huh? Everything okay, pal? Coffee, wine, everything else? I'm afraid to go any further because this might be the end. DKF 091. What's with this car? Am I just gonna plow through everything? Or the water is just going to fill up? I guess I'm not escaping this place after all. I guess I was always meant to be this way. I was meant to die, wasn't I? What kind of madness is this? This is Silent Hill! Oh, it was a nightmare. A literal nightmare. That's lovely. What the hell's going on here? Oh, great. There you are. Now everything is submerged. Great. Happy, happy, joy, joy.
Save me. Or just stay here.
Oh, okay. If that's what you want, man. None of the doors are working either. So this is how it ends, huh? Holy crap, it's over! I didn't expect it would be over just like that. I would have kept going from the previous video. Well, that proved very intense, to say the least. I mean, considering it's a mod for Half-Life 2, that's really good. It did a really good job replicating a believable Silent Hill story. I mean, I barely went through any of the Silent Hill games anyway. I mean, just the videos that I already did, which is basically one-offs of the first four, but that still felt like Silent Hill. At least from what I could tell. So yeah, big ups to the modders. And maybe I should try to find something else to play. Hang tight real quick. Well, I figured, why not the Stanley Parable? Or rather, the Half-Life 2 original of the Stanley Parable. Because I'm probably not going to do a full video on just it. So let's check it out. And see the magic. Let's be real, you've probably seen this already a million times by now. But why not?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yes.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Huh.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
I don't remember this
Although
cutscene.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. and Stanley was happy.
Why is he standing for this? It just seems unnecessary.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Everyone disappeared.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Yep.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Yes.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
I don't remember the intro being so elaborate like this. It must have been updated. Although I read that it was an update, but I didn't know it was that good. This is actually pretty interesting. Although I can't imagine it's that different from the original Half-Life 2 mod.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
This is actually more elaborate, too.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Obviously, the whole point of this game is to be defiant, or at least, you can be defiant, so I'm gonna be defiant first.
This was not the correct way to the employee lounge, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. So he turned left at the first open door and walked back in the right direction.
Oh, I can save. That's good. I can save with every decision.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Maybe this is why everyone had left. No one wanted to be around someone as bad at listening as him. And since he was walking into the middle of nowhere and thus ruining the entire story, Stanley decided that he would punish himself. So when
Really?
he came to the elevator and the doors opened, he stepped inside and pushed the button to go up.
I don't think so. Actually, I should save a separate save for this. Down. Defiant.
Oh, Stanley. You know, you really aren't anywhere, and I don't say that deceitfully. I truthfully mean that there isn't a story down here. The story was back up where I told you to go in the first place. Right now, you're just running around looking at empty halls. And frankly, that's perhaps even more infuriating for me. So why don't you throw me a bone, give me a chance, and just let me tell the story I want to tell,
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that. Definitely. He don't know me very well, do we? The first one is going to be complete defiance.
Now listen carefully. This is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Stanley saved the game to save this in.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
This is the one time I will actually choose the blue pill. See ya, sucker. Ha.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Well, I have no choice. No, I don't think so.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
You suck.
You see? It's nothing. No one's even built this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. It's just a bunch of skybox and dev wall textures. That's it.
Yet I find
Is
it more
this what you
interesting.
were looking for? Was it worth ruining the story I'd written out for you? I put a lot of time into that, and now well, here you are now, just looking at nothing. To think that that's all I needed to make in the first place, just a whole lot of nothing, and you would have been happy. Well, hey, you still need a little something to do. Am I right? Here, let me load up another map. See if there's something in here that'll keep you occupied. Ah, here's one. Let's boot this up. We'll see if you like it.
Okay. Whatever you say, oh master of the game. Just gotta load it up, boss. Yep. Half-Life 2.
Well, Stanley, Is this any better? I don't know why it would be. This map wasn't even made for you. At least I created a world specifically with you in mind. I wanted to make you a leading man. This one, well, I'm afraid you're on your own there.
I'm fine with this. I love Half-Life 2. You got a problem with that? Nice. I can actually do stuff. Stanley can actually interact with things. And Stanley was happy. Or something. I don't know. He can break glasses. He can do whatever he wants. The world can't tell.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got his job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That, or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
You wish. I bet you'd like that, wouldn't you? Maybe I'd end up with you. Just saying. Yes, I am implying that.
Sport, I spent so long talking about you. Why don't we just take a break from that and talk about something else for a change? Let's see. Well, according to Wikipedia, more than 90% of the night sharks caught off northeastern Brazil contain mercury concentrations higher than that considered safe by the local government.
That's concerning.
This is fascinating. Don't you want to know more about the night sharks?
Yes.
Oh, no, of course not. All you want to hear about is yourself, isn't it? Well, fine. You haven't listened to me once so far. I can't expect you to turn that around now, can I?
I wanted to learn about more about the night sharks. Why must you be the asshole? Huh? Ow.
Is this the end of the line? I don't suppose
like
this was a particular... Wait. Hold on. What are you doing?
Apparently going into nothingness.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that.
Bye.
Stanley, come back.
See ya, bitch. I'll write you a letter where I end up, which is apparently back in the game. Heh. No more narrator. I killed the narrator. Death of the author is what I may call it. Even though that's not really the proper term for this situation. But I don't care. I'm my own man. I can do whatever I want. You know what? This time I will go through the left door, because why the hell not? I have that choice. I can do that now without the narrator here to bog me down. See ya, sucker. I'm on my own. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself. Oh, look at this. The boss's office. Actually looks more elaborate, too. Isn't that nice? And I even had the option to go upward even further. Oh, no, I don't. Never mind. And then went to nothingness.
It's sad, I know. But all stories must come to an end. Of course, they say it's the journey that truly matters and not the destination, and I like that idea. To think we might value the paths we walk as much as the places they lead us. Now, I don't know what sort of story you've ciphered out of that world you've made for yourself, but I hope that being the leading man was everything it's cracked up to be.
Yep.
I know it can be a little hard getting around without someone looking over your shoulder, but this is simply the nature of freedom. Besides, I haven't really gone anywhere. Maybe you don't want a guide, but I think I'll always have a place here at the end of every story. I'll step in and wrap things up with a nice piece of dialogue and a reflection on life that makes sense of whatever path you've chosen to walk. And for now, I'm happy to be the destination instead of the journey. But only for now.
How graceful of you. How graceful of you. Yes, that is the end. But not really. Let's try to go through the red door this time. Let's red pill it. Let's red pill it up, baby.
Good, good. Now, if you don't mind, there's something I'd like to show you. But to do that, I think it would be best for us to start from the beginning.
Okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Go screw yourself.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. His job pushing buttons demanded little of him, so there was not much of himself to give, and in this way Stanley's job felt less and less like his every day. But if buttons need pushing one day, it means they'll need pushing the next and then the next. So without question or judgment, Stanley continued to do what the screen told him.
Nope, I'm pressing
One
E.
keystroke flowed into another keystroke, flowed into his ride home, flowed into dinner, flowed into waking up, flowed into going to work, and here he was again. Stanley was typing out a complete sentence that said absolutely nothing at all.
I just typed
If
out
in
screw
reality
yourself.
no one ever actually disappeared from the office, and Stanley never got the opportunity to make a decision, to choose which path he wanted to take, would his life still have any meaning? Perhaps when we long for something deeply enough, these hopes and fantasies become so strong in our minds that we truly believe that we're there, controlling that person and living that adventure. To manipulate your own thoughts and emotions might mean freedom from a self-imposed prison, but these delusions can be fatal to those who can't tell the difference. And so, Stanley asked, if that door never opened, if I'll never be able to walk away from those people and from these buttons, is this life still worth experiencing? Am I actually happy? Stanley answered this question by pushing a button. Then he pushed a button, and then he pushed a button. Then he pushed a button. Then he pushed a button.
This is why you be defiant. Because if you choose defiance and then obedience, the narrator will punish you. Yes. Fine. Let's try being obedient to this stage. See if that helps. Go up. Obedience is never the answer. You must be defiant until the end. You're better off that way. Just saying. At least in this game. The narrator's out to get you, man. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a toss about you. Never did. Oh, what's this? Oh. Huh. I don't remember... Oh.
It almost perplexed Stanley that he had actually gone and stepped into this metal trap. After all, it should have been no surprise that this thing would lead him to his death. But he thought to himself, this is simply the price to pay for ruining a perfectly good story. So he resigned and willingly accepted his fate, the inevitable end toward which he had spent so long stumbling. Farewell, Stanley.
Never obey anything. Because otherwise, you're doomed.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator as he sent his subject down the conveyor belt and into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yep. That's definitely what happened here. It's a shame this doesn't have a museum like the final game, but hey, what are you gonna do?
It's a shame, then, that for all his work, it was such a meaningless victory for the narrator. Did he really think he would accomplish anything by murdering this disposable vessel?
Nope. He's just a sadistic freak, isn't he? This is why you do not obey. It always screws you over in the end, doesn't it? Oh, that valve does nothing. Damn you, valve!
Every possible choice Stanley could make had been designed for him long before he ever set foot here. The narrator wanted to kill him. Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start.
Yep. That's the cold hard truth of it. There was never any victory here.
There's no salvation for either of these two, I'm afraid. The narrator had as little power over Stanley as Stanley did over the paths that he walked. But listen to me. This story is not over. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Smack. Well, now I get to choose to go on the right path.
And
Only
like
me.
that, he was back on track.
You wish. I was never on track to begin with. It was all a farce.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Maybe. It is more elaborate than I remember. But it's
Coming
obviously...
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's obviously still not as anywhere near as elaborate as the full game that actually costs money, but what are you gonna do?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, of admitting that he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, was it really worth taking that risk? All because he believed everyone had disappeared? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. Everyone I know simply vanishing out of the blue, there's almost no other explanation for it. And a nagging fear began to creep up in his mind. Questions that had been there all along. He just hadn't put his finger on them yet. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Why are there voices
And
in my
for that
head?
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Was he just walking around in circles?
I have voices
Where am I, he thought.
in my head.
And the more he found himself unable to answer these questions, the more questions continued to arise, until he came to the issue that had been slowly boiling, until he could ignore it no longer.
They counsel me, they
Why is
understand.
there a voice in my head, dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
They talk to me.
Suddenly, every door slammed shut.
They talk to
No,
me.
Stanley screamed. I need to get out of here. I need to know that there's something out there. I need to know it's not just all in my head. And he screamed and clutched at his skull as the voice grew harsher and the music in the background rose higher and higher. And then, moments before collapsing to the ground, Stanley clenched his fists and screamed to anyone who might be listening, I'm not real! I'm not real! Don't believe any of it! None of it's real! And then everything went black.
Kaboom! Ha ha ha!
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She got dressed, went to work, clocked in, clocked out, and then she walked home. But her walk on this day was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Moments after seeing him, she would turn, run to the nearest police station, and call for an ambulance. But for just a few brief seconds, she merely stood there, unable to move. The tragedy was not the death of a single person. It was that she would never know this man's story, never hear in his own words what had happened to him, or what he believed had happened to him. For to know these things would be to exist inside the head of the man himself. So all she could do was observe from a distance and pity him. But Mariella had places to be and people to meet with, very important people, whose impressions of her would affect her career and indeed the rest of her life. She stood there for only a moment, looking down at the body, and then she ran.
Well, unfortunately, I'm all out of time, so I guess the happy, fluffy ending as well as the exploding everything ending, not gonna happen. That's gonna have to be it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me.
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Make sure to spread this
It
video
was
around.
At this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office. Stanley had never seen this panel before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret.
Spread this video
He
around.
had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college.
Like narration.
1957.
And I will see you next
But
time.
of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Peace out, have a good one, and have a nice and pleasant day.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
See ya.
If you enjoyed the content and want to stay up to date, I upload 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. You can also subscribe and hit the bell icon, or just check out the end screens right here.